Welcome to Daniel's Inferno. My name is Daniel. Thank you for joining me this morning. Before we get started, if you have a moment, please like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment down below, and join the conversation. So, today's video. Premiers in trouble in Canada. We're going to start with Quebec. Quebec is having some issues with their oil and natural gas, with fueling, in fact. I don't know how this is even possible. I don't know how a province can run out of fuel so fast, but CN, our National Railway Services, is on strike currently for it's very long and convoluted for reasons. And once they went on strike, we found out that was on Monday this week, and we found out yesterday that Quebec has 5 days of fuel left. And the Quebec Premier is extremely concerned about this, and he should be. People will not be able to heat their homes in the winter. Old folks' homes, hospitals, schools. Where exactly how are these things going to run properly without fuel? So again, having how you don't have some sort of supply outside, like a multitude of supplies, so that if one supply has an issue, you have another, or you have a storage. Either of those two solutions are very viable. So, Jason Kenney, Alberta's premier, says to Quebec, you don't want a shortage? Build a pipeline. And I think that's actually a very astute thing to say, because there's a lot of fuel in Canada. Canada is sitting on quite a lot of oil and natural gas. However, Justin Trudeau has not really built that part of our economy up very well in the last 4 or 5 years. And it's showing. It is really showing. I have heard touching and horrific stories from people about how whole families are out on the streets because Western Canada relies on oil and gas as like it's the main driver for their economy. So by ignoring it, you almost doomed these provinces to fail. Excuse me. So his counterpart, Francois Legault, who's an idiot apparently, we have technology that could guarantee you constant stable access to propane and other fuels. They're called pipelines. If the government of Quebec is concerned about reliable access to propane and other fuels, then we have a very simple message for the government of Quebec. Help us build another pipeline capacity. Help us build additional pipeline capacity. The comments come after Legault called for an end to the Canadian National Railway strike, saying the province's supply of propane will run out in a matter of days. The Quebec government is rationing the remaining supply of its propane. This is insanity. Insanity. I don't know if our leaders here in Canada are getting soft-headed under Trudeau, complacent, if all people are becoming more soft-headed and dull. But this seems like something that could have been avoided before it was an emergency. And Francois Legault, I don't know why you allowed this to become an emergency at all. Simple, very simple. And in the interest of being intellectually honest and being fair, I'm also going to talk today about Jason Kenney himself, who is having some issues in his home province of Alberta. So, he has a bill, Bill 22, that he is trying to get passed. And this bill will consolidate the office of the Electoral Commissioner into the office of the Chief Electoral Agent. the commissioner does things like independent reviews and looking into illegalities or irregularities during campaigns. And what Jason Kenney is doing is trying to merge the two during an investigation into his own party and himself. So we'll go through this very quickly. So it's passed its third reading Thursday, would terminate the contract of the province's election watchdog, Lauren Gibson, who is currently investigating the UPC, or United Conservative Party, for violations of election fundraising rules in the 2017 leadership vote won by Jason Kenney. The NDP made several last-ditch attempts to stop the bill. Rachel Notley, the opposition leader, wrote to Ethics Commissioner Margaret Trussler asking the UPC MLAs to be banned from voting on the contentious bill, arguing every UCP caucus member would benefit from Gibson's contract being terminated. The UCP premier saw his party operatives and insiders being investigated for fraud, forgery, and illegal donations in a leadership race tied to his campaign, so he drafted legislation to effectively circumvent that independent investigation by terminating the investigator. This is an issue, okay? This is not okay. If the bill says, or they waited until the investigation was done, or the bill passed and there was a caveat in the bill saying it does not come into effect until after Lauren Gibson's findings become public, then I don't think this would be so contentious. I think Jason Kenney is trying to eliminate inefficiencies, which is what many conservatives, either mayors or premiers, are trying and have been trying to do for many years. And I think that's what he's trying to do. However, when he's trying to do that during an investigation into himself and his party, that's so shady and that's beyond the pale. It's what we would expect from the Liberals, from Trudeau's Liberals, okay? Not from the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party cannot actually stand from a point of principle when they are acting in such an unprincipled manner. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful morning. I'm Daniel's Inferno.